Greetings, everyone. I'm Director Arketer, as usual. Today I've managed to arbitrarily drag Shagrin and Barret into this mess. She's already online. Feel free to say hello, Shagrin. Hello, Shagrin.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Shagrin, while I'm doing the last few things to try to achieve some semblance of professionality, could you perhaps tell us a bit about yourselves and your channel?
Alright, well, I am a Texan lady who has a little YouTube channel. I like to talk about just funny stories from my past. I call that White Trash Wednesdays. And so just tell funny stories about things that happened from my past because, well, when you leave redneck kids alone, there's always something that happens. And I also like to just talk in general, do silly things like dance parties. I am not doing anything right now because I just moved again. I also do baking and crafty stuff on my channel as well, just because it's fun to do and I think some people like it. So that's about it. Oh, and my guns, of course. I do like to showcase the different guns I shoot and stuff. Only got 2 right now, but they're a lot of fun.
Oh, so you're a gun owner. Okay, well, let's launch the intro and then get right back to that topic.
Okay.
Arketer Labs.
Oh dear. And something's gone wrong yet again, somehow already. Wait! Here we go! Problem solved. Once again, thank you to everyone in chat for joining us this evening. Again, I have Shagrin and Barret, creator of White Trash Wednesday. With permission, I've loaded up an example clip. I was very curious about this one because it refers to a Dr. Pepper baby, and I can only assume this means a baby that has somehow been raised on Dr. Pepper, or perhaps is comprised of it in some mysterious fashion. Creepypasta.
Well, you know, that little story there, it's about one of my fond memories of my little girl clone. She's not so little anymore, but when she was a baby, we had an incident with Dr. Pepper.
Well, let's see what happened.
Okay.
Wednesday, and I'm Shagrin and Barret, and I'm going to tell y'all guys a little story about my crazy, wild, and sometimes white trash. Now, normally right here I say childhood, but this story takes place a little later, so maybe I haven't grown out of all my white trash ways. Now, I have a little girl, and she's 10 years old now, but when she was a baby, little clone, she was so adorable. Now, this is when clone was little. Not super little, not like itty bitty baby, like when she came out at 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and 21 inches long. This is about when she's about 9 months old and she's eating baby food, which honestly, that little thing would eat anything you put in front of her. She was always trying to grab food. She loved food, still does. She's her mama's daughter. It's a thing. So, we are at Dairy Queen because that's what you do in a small town, like we were living in at the time. You go to church and then you go to Dairy Queen. So we were sitting around at Dairy Queen, and it was me and Papa Bear and little bitty clone and Bug, who's my best friend, and she's married to Papa Bear's brother Coco. Now, Coco had a big old glass of Dr. Pepper because that's what you drink, is Dr. Pepper, nectar of the gods, according to Coco. He loves him some Dr. Pepper. So he had a big old thing of Dr. Pepper. And Clone was just jitters. Okay. Clone, when she was little, Coco called her the alien because she had these big, huge eyes, and she was this really tiny little face, and she had long fingers. And so she stared at him with these big, huge eyes. She's got those little fingers, and she's reaching, and she's in a little high chair, but she's reaching for that Dr. Pepper. So Coco takes and puts his finger on the top of the straw, pulls out the straw, and she's going, She's so excited, Clone is. She wants to get whatever he's going to give her. She opens her mouth real big and he drops a little bit of Dr. Pepper in her mouth. And she gets all excited. And then she reaches for more and he gives her a little more. She gets really excited. She reaches for more again. He gives her a little more. And she reaches again the 4th time and he goes, I'm not going to give you any more until you say Dr. Pepper. She's like really thinking about it. She's trying. Now, she only just said her first word the other day, and it was daddy. She's thinking about it, and she's thinking about it. She starts to cry. Coco's like, come on, just say Dr. Pepper and you can have some more. And she gets so mad, and her face gets all red, and she goes, dur 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 dur. And he loses it. Coco's like, that's it, get this baby a Dr. Pepper. Now, it wasn't a whole lot. Don't call social services on me. Calm down, just a little bit. And then we gave her back her little thing of juice and water, because that's what you give a baby. But, you know, you let babies try things, like we'd give her a lemon and she'd make that sour face that babies do. And then she'd go right back to it, make a sour face, put it back in her mouth. She just loved food and she'd try anything. And that's really awesome because now she's not really picky and she tries a lot of different things. Squeaker is more like me and he's very picky. So we're hoping he'll grow out of that a little bit like I did and try things later, but we'll see. But anyway, this has been White Trash Wednesday. I'm Shagrin and Barret, and just so you know, may not always be Wednesday, but you can always be trashy. See you later. Hey y'all.
Just to confirm, now, they're not actually a clone.
Well, I'm not entirely sure.
I see.
Because she looks just like me. She does the facial expressions.
Do you volunteer for any studies around the time you became pregnant? And do you have any missing hours from that time period?
Well, yes, there are some missing hours, and I'm pretty sure the angry midget might have hit me in the back of the head at one point and sold me to a scientist.
I suppose it would count for it. By the way, I too have an heir. I'm very proud. How old was the clone here at the time of this again?
Oh, I want to say she was at least 6 months old. Her first word was pretty early too, though. Her first word wasn't data, it was daddy. Like, flat out daddy. Like, she was crying, she was upset, and it just came out, daddy, and I was like...
Well, I'm a bit envious. My heir has yet to call me by name. Right now, it's just okay. At about 2 years. Turns out you can have an entire conversation with okay, but... I keep lobbying for a bit more. They also aren't a clone, by the way. Bit of a rescue project, but we're not going to get into that. So, these White Trash Wednesdays are mostly your childhood memories, is that correct?
Yes, mostly, but I still am white trash, so sometimes some more recent memories get put in there too.
I see. Now, can you tell us a bit more about how you got into YouTube? What was your inspiration to join us humble band of people who make videos on the internet for strangers?
Well, it started with I liked watching different people on YouTube. Started out watching just like Steven Crowder because I was looking at trying to get some different viewpoints of this whole election coming up. So it was around October I started watching YouTube before the election, and I just wanted something different because all I'm hearing is that all these people, like just in the news that I'm watching every day, is that, you know, Trump is just a terrible person, and I wasn't seeing it. It was, you know, I was pretty conservative in my beliefs before that, and all I was seeing everywhere was that conservatism is terrible, and I know that's not completely true. So I started watching YouTube. I started watching Steven Crowder, and then I started watching different feminist cringe videos that are just fun to laugh at a little. And then I ended up watching Sargon, which ended up going to Andy. And I watched Andy Orski back then, and for some reason, Andy always looked like a little kid to me. So it was funny watching this guy who looked like a little kid and was swearing all the time.
Yeah, he's a bit built like a 7th grader, as I understand it. I haven't seen him in person. Perhaps that's just a trick, and in person he's a great deal taller. Maybe the camera takes away around 3 feet, but he's a bit lightweight, perhaps.
Yeah. So I'm watching Andy, and he does this stream where he's talking to Omnipolitics. And I'm watching this stream.
Omnipolitics. Did you hear that Omnipolitics is apparently dead?
Really?
Yes. Apparently a pro-MAP blog reported that he'd committed suicide. It was a very tear-jerking tale that no one really quite believes. But apparently he has since, taken himself out.
I don't believe it. He's probably just... He might have just been doing that for cringe or something, and then decided that he went too far and wants to reinvent himself, which I'm hoping. Oh, I hope it's that. I mean, I know there's some sick people out there, but I always hope that a lot of these are just trolls.
Oh yes, I definitely understand that. We have a wide variety of trolls in the modern age. It's just, sadly, too many of them are actually sincere. There are people just that stupid and twisted. Now, if we can get back to something we discussed earlier, you mentioned that you are a gun haver. How many people have you killed to date?
None. Somebody screams.
Is that number still accurate?
Yes. It's just kiddos wrestling around.
How do you manage the tremendous bloodlust that surges within you every time you touch one of these murder machines?
Well, I don't really have that. I got my guns because I like to shoot, and okay, I do like to hunt. I'm hoping to go boar hunting when I get my license for that, and I don't really want to kill anybody. I don't have that really in me. I like
you
to
sounded a
shoot
bit
at
unsure.
targets.
Are you sure? Is there someone you just don't want to admit you want to kill?
Well,
this is all going to be kept between you, me, and everyone on the internet.
I will say that, but if it came to the point where my life or the life of one of my children was in danger, I wouldn't hesitate. I would protect those that I am supposed to protect. I'm supposed to take care of me and mine.
That I'm inclined to agree. I've been into a few arguments lately regarding gun control. If you had your guns taken away from you, what would you do next?
If I had my guns taken away, so then it's for my protection and for the protection of my children, I'd probably get the next thing I could. So
would you go for a bow or a crossbow?
I would probably get a crossbow because I'm not very strong with the upper body strength. So I'd probably try to compensate for that. I would definitely keep my machete and my 2 swords for home defense, I guess, and get a big old pit bull that likes me and my kids and nobody else.
That's a really good approach. And besides, there's good news in the future. Saki the Real was informing me about some really wonderful new homemade Gauss weaponry that I think will really become gangbusters. They really gain traction. I probably should have had that video loaded up. A bit weak, but you could still probably kill some of them. But yeah. I'm glad to hear this. There is a growing push, it seems, to ban guns in the U.S. How do you feel about that? Are you concerned that America might become a bit more like the UK?
Well, honestly, I don't think it's going to go very far because what people fail to realize when they're in these little city units is there are people out in the country that actually use guns to hunt, to provide food for their families. And people are like, well, you just go to the supermarket. Well, that's not the same thing. You see, I can go hunt a deer, and I can go get a deer processed. And that's a lot of meat. That's meat that I can eat for a long time. That feeds my family for months, not just a week.
But what's the monthly kill rate in your town?
In the town I'm living right now?
Yes, about 3 people get shot a week, or...
Oh, gosh. Okay, I just moved, and I live in a town that's, like, I think it's under 1,500 people live here. And from what I've heard, there's not even a murder a year.
But almost everyone has guns?
Yeah, because I just got invited because my brother lives up here, and his friends invited me and my husband to go shoot on their land, and then they're going to take him hunting when they go dove hunting, and they may take us too and the kids, because the kids shoot too. And they've never killed anybody. My son, Squeaker, he's 7 years old, and he is the best safety officer. He will recite the rules. He is very clear when he gets on his eye protection and his ear protection. He's a totally different kid. He is focused. He knows what he's doing. He's very serious about it. And he gets his .22 in his hand, and he goes to work, and he's very good at it, too. I'm very proud of him.
Imagine that. It turns out that basically people can be trained to handle guns without necessarily murdering all their peers. It seems to run counter to the popular narrative at present, but I think I ultimately agree. How do you feel about the count, to move from one thing to the next? There's some concern that if one were to, say, ban all guns in the US when we start heading towards a UK-like society in America, that we might see a situation like that of Count Dankula. Do you think that's plausible?
Well, if they take our guns, I mean, anything's possible, because I mean, we're honestly preventing tyranny. The way we do that is not that we would completely knock out the government, but it would be really costly for the government to try to subjugate us into a dictatorship. So, once our guns are gone, what's the next thing we're going to do to fight? Because the next thing they could do is take away the vote. And we wouldn't have been able to do it. The thing, though, is they're not going to be able to get rid of all the guns, because criminals don't care about laws, and people just do not understand this. Evil exists in the world, and if you get rid of all the guns, then you're going to have more knife attacks, okay? If you get rid of that, then you're going to have more people driving into cars into things. People will find a way to kill each other. In fact, I'm just going to put this out there, most serial killers do not use guns. They strangle their victims.
Welcome,
most
Green
male serial
Badger.
killers do that.
Outdoors, and yes, although I think you actually kind of killed the argument on the whole matter that you can't really take away guns. That's just not going to happen in the US, ever. So I've been, so you can be in Britain, view it smugly, those stupid Americans with their guns, but it's just not plausible, because ultimately you can only take away the guns from people who are willing to give them up.
Yep.
I think it just pays to remind people now and again that people do live in high gun environments where murders really aren't that common, despite these death machines being commonly accessible. We should probably go to something a bit more lighthearted. I should have had a lot more questions lined up, and I'm still learning, as you can see here. Thank you for bearing with me on this.
Oh, no problem.
But I did take the trouble of digging up 20 questions that Texans are apparently very tired of hearing.
Okay.
I thought that I might see if you can answer them correctly.
Okay.
So, is everyone from Texas a cowboy?
No, we're not all cowboys, because Austin is a thing. No, I'm kidding. Austin is our little liberal spot. I mean, Dallas is pretty liberal too, but we do have high rises there, and we have high rises in Houston. So yeah, not all cowboys, farmers, rustlers.
Hmm. The correct answer was Texas has many types of people, cowboys included. Do all women have big hair?
It depends, because if we can tease it up enough. If not, we don't.
The correct answer was we welcome all styles. Which doesn't answer the question in the slightest, of course. But, you know, this is BuzzFeed, so what can you expect? Do you ride a horse everywhere?
Do I ride a horse? If I could, I would. They're more expensive than cars right now. Just upkeep in general is just way more expensive than just putting gas in a car and going. Really it's more 4x4s where I'm at right now, and trucks that are so big I look tiny.
I think the big question is, does anyone drive a truck? The right answer, however, was only if the place has a drive-through. Is high school football really big there?
Oh my lord. Okay, I have lived in small towns most of my life, and I can tell you, they will shut down the entire town when it's football game time. I'm not kidding. It'll say closed for football. Homecoming is a big thing to everybody. Everybody wears a mum or a garland. Everybody. Not garland. It is a big thing. Homecoming queen, you top that around till you're like 80. I was homecoming queen. It's huge. Pee-wee football's a big thing too, though. Like, it's a big thing.
Okay, so you would say that is a yes. Not so much as religion, but more a way of life was the correct answer, apparently.
Then these people don't know what they're talking about.
No, probably not. Don't all trucks have gun racks?
Only the fun ones.
To be fair, regular vehicles have them as well, as the correct answer. I'm sorry, Miss Steam, did you have a question? I'm not ignoring you, I'm just... I have a limited attention span. Okay, well, while waiting for Miss Steam to reissue her question, how can you stand the heat? Is the next question.
I was born here, so lots of cold sweet tea, lots of water, and you find the shade.
The correct answer was, we have found ways to cope, although that's basically just going into detail. In my experience, from my miserable time in Texas during the summers, I would say that air conditioning is tantamount to life support.
Yeah, I grew up in a trailer that didn't have that, so we played outside a lot and just found the shade. We'd have the fans going a lot, but yeah, I grew up in a travel trailer, almost like a RV or a camper. Like, that was, and those don't have AC, so you just find ways. You find a lake, you find a pond, you go to the pool, you go walk around the mall.
The next question is some people there a little slow? Which is an incredibly ironic question given the way it's phrased. Is some people there a little slow?
Are some people there a little slow? Well,
that's
just
not how
because
they
we talk
typed it.
slow, don't... We talk slow, we take it slow, but that don't mean we're stupid. There's a lot of people that are crazy. I think crazy outweighs stupid down here. But we do have some dumb people just like everywhere else.
This is very true. In my experience, it is generally adapt to their environments. The correct answer was no, but that question certainly is ignorant. Which is true. It would be perhaps a better criticism if the author hadn't written it themselves. Is country music the only music that you listen to?
Well, me personally, I listen to all sorts of music. I like rap, I like rock, I like some dubstep sometimes. Sometimes I do like my country. I do like to dance around to a little what's her face? Maren Morris. I like her. Carrie Underwood, and of course, you gotta love Johnny Cash. But no, it's not all. Of course, it's not. I do like covers of Taylor Swift songs such as heavy metal music too. But I mean, it's not all we listen to.
The next question is especially baffling, although the correct answer to the previous was, we also listen to every other genre of music as well. Ever heard of ZZ Top? The next question is,
Oh yeah.
does it ever rain there?
Yes. It rains a lot actually. I'm part native, so when it rains a lot, I get calls and text messages from my husband telling me to quit dancing around because apparently it's my fault. But no, it just depends on where you're at. Texas has a bunch of different climates inside it. We've got swampy areas, we've got desert areas, and then we got some pretty little plains areas. It just depends on where you're at.
Oh yes, and it certainly depends on whether there's a drought, but if I know one thing about Texas, is that the weather is mercurial at best, with no clear seasons, just slightly different, chaotic weather patterns.
Texas is a woman, and she is apt to change her mind. And I have a feeling sometimes, some seasons, Oklahoma looks over at New Mexico and says, "Are you going to tell her it's fall?" And New Mexico looks back over at Oklahoma and says, "I'm not telling her it's fall. You tell her it's fall."
The correct answer, by the way, was, well, only during major music festivals. The next question is Dallas really like the TV show Dallas?
No.
Yeah, the correct answer is apparently, if your last name is Ewing and you're an oil baron, then yes. Which makes me wonder where this person came from in Texas, because that's never been an accurate representation of life there from what I have seen.
No. I guess they're talking about like those pretty little girls whose daddies can afford to pay them their full ride to SMU or something. I don't know. NTCU.
The next question is, can you speak clearly? I can't understand your accent. Not me, mind you. I'm just reading the question here. Can you speak clearly? I can't understand your accent.
I don't get that a lot. I really don't. Of course, what people don't understand is that you can have a Texan accent, but there's 4 different Texas accents. There's West Texas, that sounds different than South Texas, and South Texas sounds different than East Texas, and everybody sounds different than Austin.
No, I never noticed that. But then again, I was raised on PBS, and I've been accused of having a British accent while I lived in Texas.
I could see that.
Next up, isn't everyone packing there? Presumably they mean guns and not their pants.
Yeah. Well, now that we have LTC, where we can actually have open carry, we can open carry swords now. We can open carry machetes. We can open carry our guns as well. And a lot of people have guns. You wouldn't think about it, but I did come from a major metroplex area around here before I moved, and yeah, everybody down there in the city has guns too. And I was taking my kids to their daycare, and the big old dude up there was like, "I'm so glad you got them going. They told me all about you taking them to the gun range and showing them what to do. I love that you're showing them what to do with that. I'm about to take my daughter." I mean, the gun range, they love the kids. Every gun range we go to, they love having the kids there.
Well, this is something that people don't seem to accept also. In addition to being guns, which are meant only for killing, people keep forgetting repeatedly that they're also a lot of fun to shoot for no good reason whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I went out, this is going to sound crazy, but I went out with my church to the gun range. We had a church outing, and one of the guys brought his antique break-apart shotgun. That was an experience. That thing kicked like a mule. I felt like I had a hole in my shoulder the next day, but I popped every single clay pigeon with that thing, and I was so proud of myself. And people just don't understand that. It's an amazing feeling to have that much power on you, and you're able to shoot and hit your target, and that's just such a sense of accomplishment. And then taking the gun apart, cleaning it, taking care of your ammunition and everything like that, that just gives you a sense of pride. It's lovely. I love it.
Yeah, and it's a great skill to build on. I'm sorry, I got a bit distracted. Miss Team is sending me erotic photographs, which I probably shouldn't show this on the channel. Apparently it was meant for someone else in theory, but I'm definitely not keeping this in a folder for later.
Well, Miss Steam is a very lovely lady, so you're lucky.
Well, it is flattering, but she has kind of vowed to destroy me, so I have to sort of take it with a grain of salt.
She's lulling you into a false sense of security and familiarity.
Oh, well, she made a mistake there. Sending me attractive pictures doesn't make me feel that everything's alright and I can lower my guard. It tips me off there's an immediate trap in the near future. This is more of a personal question. It's not on the list, but as they used a picture of Rick Perry for their gun question, what's your opinion of Rick Perry? For those of you who at home, by the way, just because not everyone's a Texan and may not remember, Rick Perry was one of the potential presidential candidates who forgot what all the branches of government were.
Yeah. I can understand being in that spot and freezing and forgetting, but if you're going to be the leader of my country, you cannot freeze.
Yes, and I actually remember his career from when I was in Texas. I don't understand how he held office for so long as it is.
Oh, do you remember that infamous traffic stop?
No, please, enlighten me with this story. What mad hattery did Rick Perry get up to that I missed?
Oh, this young black officer, female black officer, stopped him. And he said, "Don't you know who I am? I'm late. I need to go. Why don't you just let me get on my way?" And when Carol Keaton Rylander ran for governor, she plastered that everywhere. She had that on every single commercial slot, talking about, one, he was mean to women, all that. And also, you know, Southerners in general hate snobbery.
Yes. And
she will not. And so that's always great.
I just remember the time he tried to sell the Texas State Lottery.
Oh, what? No, don't do that. That's, for one, that's my entertainment for the week, and two, it helps our schools out a lot. Like, okay, so there's like a bunch of different incomes for schools, but that does help a lot. And then you've got the sales from the football games and things like that. That goes a long way. And then you got the boosters and the alumni and just everything. It's crazy.
Yes, it is absolutely crazy, and I do note that over the course of his governorship, the number of toll roads went up, and I've found toll roads to be a pretty good marker for how corrupt a government is at a given time. I just look at Chicago, there's hardly a road that isn't a toll road.
I'm sorry, what is not a toll road? I missed the part.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have a guest, one of the first and famous trolls, Macho King Jordan Pickleson. Welcome to the show. But to get back to the topic, during the tenure of Rick Perry as governor of Texas, the number of toll roads increased. And I found toll roads to be an indicator of government corruption, state or national, really, but especially in state. And one of my case in points would be Chicago, which nary has a road that isn't a toll road.
Yeah.
The next question is apparently one they get often enough to be tired of it is, what's a tamale?
Oh, I've never gotten that. I've never heard. Of course, I don't. Even the people that I talk to that are outside of Texas know what that is. That's not just a Texan thing.
Apparently they felt it was. You know, this is an incredibly dragging article. But do you have a winter season there? No. So is the barbecue there really that good?
Yes, when I make it.
I believe it. Have you ever seen an episode of Friday Night Lights?
No, I have not.
Neither have I. How did that become a Texas thing, anyway?
Well, I know it's about a high school football team, but why would I watch that when I live that? I'm a cheer mom. I've got the bows. I've got the trophies. We get it and we go. And Squeaker's going to start Pee Wee football here soon, too. He don't know it yet, but that's what's going to happen. And if you don't like it, we'll try something else. But, yeah.
A slight derailment as Macho King Jordan Pickleson is calling me out, asking what the outfit is, stating that this is, in fact, not Halloween and that my voice is weird. You are absolutely right, but I know for a fact that you regularly watch a ghost and a frog in anthropomorphized form regularly. So, really, is this that much stranger? I didn't think so. The next question, is y'all a real word? Not technically. Is everything bigger in Texas?
What was that? Everything. Okay, if there are guns and there are trucks that make me look like a midget, everything is too big. It takes me forever to get into a truck. It's just too dang high.
Why are trucks so high? That's a question I would want to know, but I'm running through this because I have a personal question I want to ask you, and time is ticking away, so I'm going to try to rush through these last two. Are there cattle everywhere?
Not everywhere.
Almost everywhere was the correct answer, although, again, I do wonder where the author came from.
Right.
Do you really think it's the best state?
Oh, heck yes I do. Wouldn't live nowhere else.
I can't say that, but I have fond memories of Texas. No obligations to agree. My preference for certain other locales where I'm not burning or sweating constantly, or... No, mostly it's the heat. It's the heat I couldn't stand. But apparently Chuck Norris seems to think so.
I hate cold. I can live in Texas. I could not do the cold.
I'm a fraud of a Texan. I love the cold by comparison. By the way, do you remember, Shagrin, back during Obama's term when there was a small group of Texans that was aggressively lobbying to have Texas secede from the Union?
Yes, I do. And I have a joke for that.
Oh, please do share.
They are like the lady that's mad at her boyfriend or husband and says, I'm just going to go run home to Mama. And then they realize who Mama is. You know who Texas Mama is? Mexico.
I was amazed, but I understand that Chuck Norris here actually volunteered to be the first president of Texas had they somehow gone through with it.
That's appropriate. Although, in the town I'm in, I've said before that people are kind of afraid of my brother in this town I'm living in now, because this is my brother's hometown where I'm at right now. And, you know how there's all those Chuck Norris jokes and stuff? Here they have my brother jokes, like Chuck Norris jokes. It's really weird.
My brother Chuck Norris jokes?
Well, no, my brother, HC. So, instead of Chuck Norris does this or whatever, there's jokes like, well, HC done felled a tree with just one arm. You know, Chuck Norris looks under his bed for HC. You better leave her alone. She's HC's little sister, and you know he ain't afraid to go back to jail.
That's fairly surreal.
It's so weird. It's like, what?
Well, the correct answer was, apparently Chuck seems to think so regarding whether or not Texas being the greatest state. I believe Texas is a huge asset to the U.S., which is one of the reasons it could have never possibly seceded, and that America quite possibly needs Texas, just so there's one state that will never give up the guns. Although I believe there's a few states that will keep us good on that point. To move on, At various points during your YouTube career, Shagrin, you've held dance parties where you've invited a lot of other minor YouTubers and just well-wishers on to dance to songs. I believe I've been on twice, in fact. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you feel that was a mistake?
0. I love it. I had a blast with it. I was trying to make my channel more family friendly, so I had to private everything so I could pull everything off of there and bleep stuff out and change songs so everything doesn't get demonetized or copyrighted, struck, or anything like that. But I have a blast with those. Those are so much fun, and I act like a total idiot.
Now, have you held a dance party at every 100 subscribers? Or is it just the last 2?
Just at 100 and 300 so far. I'm not holding another one until I get like 1,000 because it's a lot.
Well, hopefully that number will only increase. In fact, I believe at present you hold the lead between us. Let's see. We had some questions in the chat. Okay. Let's see. When will the United States secede from you being retarded? I think it went the other way around, and it's already happened. Macho King Jordan Pilson, do those glasses help with your AIDS addiction? I don't know what an AIDS addiction is, Jordan Pickleson. I assume you're referring to bug chasers. I am not a bug chaser, and the glasses wouldn't help with that in the slightest because it would keep contagions from getting into the eye where they might enter the bloodstream and increase the viral load. Plus, that's just really quite batshit insane. I don't know, perhaps you're the greater expert on that. Miss Team asked, did I screw with her time machine? Yes, I did. I spilled the soda, I admit now, quite intentionally. But you've already said yourself it didn't do anything further, so... So what? You know, I should have done something a bit more. And finally, Shagrin and Barret, Miss Steam asked you, presumably, boobs. That's not a question, Miss Steam. It's an emoticon.
That's one word.
It's an emoticon featuring boobs with a question mark.
I don't know what she's asking. If she's asking, are they there? Yes, you can see them in my icon.
I see.
Other than that, I don't know what you want.
Oh, I see. Miss Steam has mentioned you're still stuck in the 1930s. Well, that is probably not my fault. Besides, you already found they spilt soda sometime sooner. He didn't fix it, that's on you in any case. Let's see. I had something else to ask. I can't remember what it was. Are you planning on having another dance party before long? I've got a better set these days, and strictly speaking, I can pretty much dance on your screen. One more service I now provide.
Yay!
Do you have an idea when that might be?
I'm going to do my next one when I hit 1,000, because I need some more time to get things together. I will actually do a choreograph for that one. So, you know, get that, possibly even a costume, I don't know yet. I'm going to try and find something hilarious. Might have to, you know, do a line dance or something because I'm from Texas and all.
Fair enough. My aims are humble. When I get to 500, how would you feel if I hosted the dance party and invited you on instead?
I can do that.
Excellent. Well, keep that in mind. When we hit 500, I'll host the dance party. I'll preside over it like some sort of creepy goggled god.
There you go. Oh, you should do something. Oh, man. I wish I was better with OBS because it'd be hilarious to have, like, it almost looked like we're in little cells and we're test subjects responding to different audio stimuli.
I might be able to do that. By the way, King Carl Clan, it's funny you should refer to that, given... Wait a second, are you ever due to Miss Steam? Tried to frame me as part of the KKK. Did you see that video, that picture, Shagrin and Barret?
What picture?
Oh, I think I should probably share this. Hold on.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me look here. Okay, I can see video now. I don't know if I told you that or not. I fixed it.
Oh, fantastic. If you feel like doing something while I'm trying to fix this particular problem.
Okay. What would you like me to do?
Find an example of you or I dancing from one of your dance parties.
Oh, okay. I can find that and put a link in the chat. Hold on.
I think that'd be a great way to close this out, in fact, if we can pull it off.
Let me see here. I might have the thing where I like cut and pasted everything together and put it on the high speed, which, oh my gosh, that made me laugh so hard.
If you find that, that would be brilliant.
Let me see here. Y'all guys, bear with me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
That's fine.
All
Dead
right.
space
What
is
else do we got
poison. I'm
going?
actually botching this, but it ought to be here somewhere.
Apparently, I have only one stream on this.
Aha!
What in the world?
Since King Carl likes to reference the clan, I just want to share one of the achievements that I've pulled off thanks to Miss Steam.
Okay, here I'm ready to see this.
A while back, Miss Steam, after vowing vengeance on me, which is something I should have paid closer attention to, offered to lend me her time machine to have a little fun with, and, well, I took a few photos, which I shared, and then she decided to frame me as a Klansman.
How terrible.
Yep. Pardon the audio, I don't think I can stop it. You can see this photo right here.
Let me see this. Hold on a second here. Give me a second here. Oh no. Oh.
And this was really just an utter bit of black painting. I was cross about this. I was happy because, now, I don't know if you remember this, but before I changed the timeline, the Ku Klux Klan had a fairly military hierarchy. But after this photo was taken, the gas was released that compelled them to restructure themselves to look like a D&D, a monster manual. And, I know no one's going to appreciate it or believe it, but I have to believe that brought them down a good decade ahead of schedule from being a sincere, fearsome power. Why do you think that the clan would have structured themselves with titles like Grand Wizard, High Dragon, Imperial Ogre, and assorted laughable terms?
The same reason why people pretend to be all that on the internet, because in real life they weren't that much. So they want to seem like heroes somewhere.
But see, there's some things that really baffled me, because if you're trying to look like a hero, then you'd be taking names like Paladin, or Knight, or Crusader. But when it came to the clan, they chose names that were from the B list of encounters in a D&D campaign.
Wizards are always seem kind of cool, but then when you meet people who always play the wizards, think about who those people normally are. Magog accepted. Other than Magog, it's people who think they're smart, but they really aren't. Think about the other ogres we've met. Now, the orcs are pretty funny, and they can take a joke, but the ogres are always pretty high on themselves.
Very true, very true.
The dragons I don't get, because dragons are a toss-up, because I've met some cool dragons, people that call themselves dragons and stuff. They can be pretty cool. And then you got some that are just out there.
I assume you're primarily referring to Thrax.
Oh, Thrax is a good dragon.
Yeah, everyone knows Thrax. Thrax is a credit to dragonkind, at least as far as people on the internet. Let's see, Jordan Pixelin, I have motto, I'm not smart is my motto.
That's a good motto.
Yes, no one's going to argue with you, generally speaking. I mean, if someone comes up to you and says, "Hi, I'm an idiot," you don't go, No, you're not, you're a really smart person. No one does that. At best, you get sort of awkward silence where you go, okay, fine. By chance, did you find the dance video, Shagrin?
I did. I'm trying to figure out how to post it in the side chat here, but I'm on my phone, so yeah.
I have taken the liberty of wrenching you, so you can direct it to YouTube chat or the call as you see fit.
Okay, here I go. And nice one, Green Badger Outdoors. To be fair, these are the people that spelled clan with a K. Nice one. Don't let Magog near your weapons when he's drunk. Facepalm from his team. I don't think I have any weapons that he'd be interested in. I only have 2 swords, and he's got better weapons than me. So.
Yes. Well, actually, no. One of Magog's own pet peeves is that he don't think he has that much that's significantly better than the Sword of Ludicrous Undertakings. But he's got some spells I don't think he's ever really gotten a chance to apply in the real world. If he ever manages to really get over here, then things get quite weird, assuming it works, which I doubt. I see you've posted a link to the chat. I suppose everyone else in the chat can also click that link, but I will go ahead.
I said Arg. What in the world?
Oh dear, this is one of the first dance parties right here.
Yes.
Dance party highlights. Oh, this is going to be great. Thank you very much for Shagrin and Barret for bailing me out of poor planning.
I gotta mute myself though, because I'm so gonna snort when I watch this. I snort every freaking time, and I can't have you and Beardbarian making me snort. It's not cute. It's not happening.
This is fantastic. They've age blocked your dance party highlights.
Oh.
No. This will not stop me, so we can relax on this point. I've got a backup. That's hilarious.
Oh, there's some naughty words in some of the songs.
Pansies. I will not be stopped.
Maybe I can do something on it. I don't know.
Oh no, we're going.
Okay. Get out of the room, cat. Not alone, cat.
Hot trunks,
Motherfucking strip for y'all.
I missed that one.
I love that.
This is incredibly nostalgic. Seeing myself on my early prototype sets looking terrible.
Oh my gosh. Pod. I can't even with Pod. Oh, this is before I threatened to hurt him with a spoon.
Failure and Co. gave me no end of grief over that headset. I enjoyed tinkering with it, but apparently you just can't, carry on a live stream with duct tape.
Oh, I can't believe that's so long ago.
Well, as Shagrin and Barret and her fans, including myself, dance us out, I would like to thank everyone in the chat for joining us this evening.
Is for Tim to dance to, and it's been requested by the Emperor, so we must do it.
Yes. Thanks guys so much for stopping by.
Indeed. This has been a quaint little chat, and it was very nice to have such a infamous character as King Carl to join us this evening. And no one should ever be afraid to dance, even when they look like me.
Hey, if I can do it, y'all can do it.
You'd be so jealous.
You're jealous of these fucking pythons, boy.
Come on.
Fucking pythons, boy.
Oh,
That's
Macho
solid.
King.
That's fucking. That's a. I don't know what that is. What is that?
And thank you again for joining me, Shagrin and Barret. Please do take a look at her channel if you feel inclined to get a taste of good old down-home Texan, life.
Crazy redhead.
Until next time, ostensibly, progress continues.
Bye, y'all.